In August 2022, members of the Edible Cities Network project met in Berlin to connect and exchange experiences. The project explores ways of working together with nature to make urban food systems more sustainable while strengthening community in cities. The event united people from 7 different countries across Europe, including city officials, researchers, and representatives from social and environmental NGOs and urban gardening collectives. They explored the living labs developed in Berlin within the project.
What happened in Cuba is, you might know it better than me, but if you do, correct me please. After the breakdown of the Soviet Union, well, till the breakdown of the Soviet Union, they had an industrialized agriculture system, Soviet style. Big machines, big amounts of fertilizer, big amount of pesticides. I think during that period when the Soviet Union was still existing, they were mainly growing sugar cane to export it and were kind of re-importing what they were eating. But I think then afterwards going through the garden makes it more understandable for you.
I'm Inken Schmutz. I'm working here for the Senate Department for Urban Development, Building and Housing. And well, originally I'm responsible for the funding program Social Cohesion here in Berlin. We are supporting socially disadvantaged neighborhoods, and during the last years we funded more and more edible city solutions like community garden, cooking classes and so on. So this topic of edible cities network was very interesting for us. So my role in EdiCitNet is that I'm the city coordinator here in Berlin. So I'm responsible for organizing the overall EdiCitNet process here, which are 2 tasks mainly. We developed a master plan, an EdiCitNet master plan, and we also implemented 2 living labs together with our partner Prinzessinnengarten. This week we host the Edible City Staff and City Exchange, and we are very happy that most of the participating cities sent some of their staff and city team members here, so we can share our knowledge and just to get in touch with each other and have a nice chat and so on. So it's a very, very nice and inspiring time for all of us.
All right. Now, we can even go a little further. So this part of the garden is not our garden. It's called Hellersdorf.
2 very different green spaces where diverse teams are co-creating innovative nature-based solutions to local challenges. In Berlin-Hellersdorf, the participants saw how a community garden is bringing together long-term residents with recent newcomers to the area. In Berlin-Neukölln, they learned how an urban farm is being integrated into a cemetery to preserve the green oasis in the heart of the city and create a new community hub in the neighborhood. They also enjoyed presentations, discussions and workshops. It was a great opportunity to connect in nature, learn from each other, and strengthen the work of the project moving forward.
I'm Hilde Herbrøden, and I'm a city coordinator for the Living Lab in Oslo. And Oslo is a front-runner city in the project. And I've been working with the project for 6 months, but we have a living lab there that's 7 acres big and a lot of activities. I'm here in Berlin this week because I want to learn how Berlin is working with urban agriculture and edible city solutions. And they have a long tradition on doing that in Berlin, so it's lots of things to learn to make happening in Oslo. It's very inspiring to be here in Prinzessinnengarten to see how the cemeteries can be used for public today, because we also have this same issue in Norway, a lot of space that is not used for daily basis and as a resource, as a green infrastructure. And yesterday it was also very inspiring to hear about the community garden program and how you're working with how to improve the activities and also find fundings and also legacies that can continue them as an activity in the city.
I'm Anneli Karlsson. I'm from Andernach, the edible city, and we are from the Department of Urban Planning and Construction, and we are at the moment 2 employees working towards a more edible city community with a bottom-up initiative. So our coordination role there is to feed the initiatives and give inspiration what we've learned from 10 years experience as a top-down governed edible city, and now we're turning all the tables. So we're trying to go from that direction and are happy to learn from the different cities here in the project. So I'm in Berlin this week to see what the Prinzessinnengarten and the coordination team and the whole system of Berlin are putting up in interesting spaces like we're here today in the cemetery of St. Jacobi. We are learning in Andernach also to think in different directions, and this is an inspirational trip for us to really get to know how to think anew. So what is very inspirational is to see that here at this side of the cemetery that they've changed the whole concept of thinking of using the space anew, also including people from this organization of Prinzessinnengarten to give them a lot of opportunities to decide together with citizens, giving safe spaces to refugees. That is a very inspirational thing, and I hope that we can take up some of these ideas and nurture them and maybe incorporate them in our further work in Andernach.
My name is Eric. I come from Sant Feliu de Llobregat. I actually live in Barcelona. Sant Feliu is really nearby to Barcelona, and we are participating at Sant Feliu de Llobregat as one follower city in the project EdiCitNet, developing some projects there and meeting inspiring experiences. I'm in Berlin this week participating in the city exchange of EdiCitNet project in order to meet all our colleagues from the project, exchange experiences, and also get to know some of the projects that are happening here in Berlin. We are pretty much interested in urban gardening and also how the food system of Berlin is working, so we can learn from these experiences and apply some of the learned things back in Sant Feliu. So one of the most interesting things I learned here was how this place we are in right now in the cemetery has been a little bit also transformed in some part with urban gardens. For us in Spain it's like a different context, I think, but in my opinion there's a lot of things that I've seen here that we could apply also there in terms of working with green spaces and opening green spaces to grow food.
6 days, Saturday as well in Hellersdorf, and every second Sunday a bigger event here. So this is mainly, we're not scientists, but what we do is we work since 12 years with exactly these raised beds and exactly the same soil always on the raised beds.